Hey beautiful, welcome to my channel. Today's video is a let's get glam video and I want to do a full eyeshadow look. I also, which does not happen often, have an idea of exactly what I want to do. I'm excited about it. I'm combining a couple of new palettes I tried lately, and I'll also be putting on and further testing a bunch of the new products that I've been talking to you guys about in previous videos. If you are excited for this one, don't forget to please give it a thumbs up and let's go ahead and get started. As you can see, I'm not starting from zero. The brows are already done because I don't really have new exciting brow products to use for this video. Everything I'm going to be talking about today will of course be listed with links down below in the description box. So if you have any questions as to what shades I'm using, if you have any questions about the specific products that I'm talking about, definitely check out the description box for the list and the links. And if you're going to buy anything, please use the links I'm leaving you down below. Whenever you use my links, you are helping out my channel. So first things first, I'm not using magic cream today. I'm using a different moisturizer. I tried this one once last week and I really liked it, so I wanted to bring it to your attention. This is new at Sephora. The brand is called Matter of Fact, and this is a 5% pro vitamin B5 with liquid crystal lipids and Centellia asiatica. It's called the Minimalist Hydrating Moisturizer. It says it's lightweight yet long-lasting. It delivers deeply hydrating pro vitamin B5 and lipid-rich complex. Its creamy texture melts into the skin with a cooling feel that soothes even sensitive skin. You guys know I have dry, sensitive skin, so I was very intrigued about it. And the only claim that I don't agree with that I just read was the lightweight claim, because it doesn't truly feel lightweight, which honestly it's a positive for me. I don't like super lightweight moisturizers. Water-based gel moisturizers like water cream from Tatcha, for example, they are great for people with oily skin, but on me, my skin just absorbs them immediately and they don't do much, right? So this one honestly did not feel lightweight. If you have dry skin, I think you might like it. It has one of these mechanisms where you push up the product and grab it from the cap, and it does seem to have a gel texture rather than a cream texture, but it's not a thin gel. I don't feel like it disappears on the skin. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and apply it. It's definitely fun to try something other than magic cream every once in a while. I still have pending trying the new magic water cream. I'll have to let you know about that one in the future. Carefully going around my eyebrows, and I always apply my moisturizer after my brows are done because otherwise my brow gel will fall. The majority of the products I'm going to be trying out today I bought myself with my own money. However, I did not buy this. This was sent to me, and so I'll make that disclaimer whenever I use something that was sent to me. If you don't see me saying anything, that means I bought it myself. The skin, as you can see, looks nice and hydrated, and I actually want to use two different types of foundation products today because I feel like they'll look really good combined, but we'll see. The first thing is this right here. This is the new Fenty Beauty Cream Stick in shade 8, which I love. It melts right into the skin. It offers a fair amount of coverage, and I truly do think it blurs the skin a little bit. So I'm going to apply it all throughout the center of my face. And with a reference sponge, I'm going to blend it in place. Just patting it right through the center of my face. And this is an extremely natural looking product. If you don't build it up a lot and you use the amount that I just used, as you can see, it doesn't even look like I'm wearing any makeup, but a lot of my redness is concealed and covered. And I would happily leave my house looking like this, and I don't think anyone would think that I have makeup on because it doesn't really look like it. However, as you saw, it did kind of even me out a little bit, and so that was the way I wanted to use this one initially. I think I might just do a bit more over this redness here, but I sort of wanted to use it as a primer to what I'm going to use next. Let me just do one more little dab right there and blend it in with the sponge. See, that looks fantastic. I love it. So now that the redness is covered and my skin looks nice and blurred, I want to use a new skin tint on top. I bought this one during my last Sephora haul. I believe I bought this that same occasion. And this is the new Vitamin Enriched Skin Tint from Bobbi. Now, when I first tried this one in a previous video, I told you guys that it wasn't my favorite because it lacked the coverage that I personally prefer. And so today I'm trying it on top of a non-red face so that I can see if I like it better. If you don't have redness on your face, then you don't have to worry about it. But I wanted to cover my redness to try it again to give it a very fair chance of succeeding. Once again, I'm using my sponge and I'm just going to dab it and blend it all over my face. This smells exactly like the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base Moisturizer, which in my opinion is delicious. I didn't love applying this with the sponge on this side of my face, so on this side of my face I'm going to use a brush instead. This is a Sigma E47 and I am going to just pat the Bobbi Brown tint all over this side of my face with a brush. You know what? I think that my final verdict on the Bobbi Brown skin tint is that I just don't like it. I don't think it works for me. It's too temperamental. It didn't apply well with the sponge, and then when I applied this side with the brush, I thought it was looking good, but then I looked closely and it was like creating texture. So I just don't like it. And I know that I'm using it on top of something else today, but I did use it on its own the first time I tried it and I also didn't love it then. So this is just not a product that I recommend. However, the Fenty blurring stick I do really like. So I just applied a little bit more. And here is what the face is looking like now. Still nice and natural, just a little bit more covered. For my under eyes, I'm going in with the e.l.f. color corrector right where I have purple hues, which is mostly the inner corner, or all around the inner corner. And then with the tip of my sponge, I'm going to blend that in, just patting it in place. If you want a really, really affordable color corrector for your under eyes, I do really enjoy this one. I prefer my Charlotte one, but this one is not bad at all. And it has a very nice formula. It's nice and thin, it disappears immediately. Nothing to complain about. We are getting glam today, so I'm doing some concealer on top, and the concealer I'm going to use is this one right here from Makeup by Mario. I have mine in the shade 180, and I'm just going to dab it right under my eyes, and once again I'm tapping it in with the sponge. Take a look at how nice and bright that looks. Let me just do the same thing over on this side. With whatever's left on my sponge, I'm priming my eyes. To set the concealer underneath my eyes, I'm going to use my One Size Beauty pink powder with the Beauty Blender puff. I'm just going to grab a lot of powder on the tip of my puff here. And then I'm going to dab the excess right on the palm of my hand and press the puff under the eye. One of my favorite things about the One Size Beauty powder, even though it's not a super thin powder, is that it gives you a matched blur. Like, I look so blurred right now. So let me just do the same thing over on this side. And I'm also going to tap this powder right in the center of my forehead so as to not look like an oily mess, you know? I have a new bronzer to apply and I want to do so on top of a very light contour. And my perfect, most favorite light contour is this Westman Atelier stick right here. I've had this for a while and I love it, and one of the main reasons I love it is because, well, it's easy to use, it's easy to blend, but also the color is pretty light, and so it's very forgiving and also very, very natural looking. So I'm just going to draw it up, including the sides of my nose here, and I'm going to just blend it in place with my Sigma brush from earlier, which is great for any type of liquid or cream blending. You just dab it in place and it does the blending for you. I'm jumping from complexion to my eyes and then from my eyes back to complexion. The reason is I really want to do this look that I told you I have in mind. And in order to do so, hopefully it'll come out okay. In order to do so, I'm going to use two palettes that I tried very recently and I think are going to be perfectly paired for this look. Palette number 1 is the Danessa Myricks Groundworks palette, and the very specific reason for which I want to use this palette is this Balm Cream black shade here. In the review video I did with this palette, I did wings, and it was very easy to do wings with that shade, and so I want to recreate that and add some fun to it. So I have the new Oden's Eye palette with Angelica Nyqvist here. This is her little ghost palette, and there are a couple of shades from this palette that I want to use. I'm not going to do anything super colorful crazy. This is still going to be a very nice fall eyeshadow look, but there are a couple of colors from here that I want to grab. Anyways, let's do it. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a Refer number 3 brush in the shade Sculpted here. And with this color, I'm going to lightly smudge my under eyes right back here, especially towards the end. And then I'm going to flick that up, just like I did when I was reviewing this palette. Just like that, just to have a nice guidance there as to where I want my wings to go. So just flicking it up back here and smudging it underneath the eye. With a Refer number 13, I'm going to grab the shade Mirage. And with this color, I'm going to just back and forth smoke my under eye area so that things look blurred and nothing looks too defined underneath my eye. And now I have that guide right there upon which to build my half wings. So this right here is a Sigma. These glitter brushes are hard to read. E65 brush. And with this brush, I'm going to grab the shade Tourmaline, and I'm going to drag my wing back here and back in halfway through my lid, filling in any gaps with my brush, all the way to the very center of my iris. And if you make any mistakes, like for example, I just drew that a little bit too thick on my eyelid, just grab a Q-tip and correct it, because this being a balm type product, it doesn't dry right away, so you have a bit of playtime. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let me do the same thing over on the other eye. Okay, so this is what we're looking like, and this was the extent to which I wanted to take the Danessa Myricks palette right here. So next it is time to play with the new Oden's Eye collaboration palette, and the main shade that I wanted to pick up from this palette is this super beautiful deep burgundy right here, and I want to use that color on top of my wing. I want my wing to hopefully become this shade. We'll see. I'm going to use the same Sigma angled brush, and I'm going to very, very carefully run it over my wing. And that black pomade from the Danessa Myricks comes out more so a very deep gray rather than black. So I figured it would be a good base for this shade to go over. So I'm just tapping that deep burgundy all over my wing. And I am filling it in. Ooh! Take a look at my burgundy wing versus my very deep gray wing right here. I'm liking the way things are turning out so far. Let me just keep going. The next thing I want to attempt is to smoke out the top of the burgundy wing with a warm color, which is what's going to, in my mind, make this eye look fall. So I'm going to grab the shade Broomstick down here with a Refer number 3 brush, and I'm going to smoke out the top edge of my wing, just back and forth smudging the top of the wing. Are you having doubts? Because I'm having doubts about my decisions right now. Let's keep going, we'll see. Refer number 13, and this much lighter orange shade down here, which is called Candy Corn. And hopefully Candy Corn will save the day, just smoking that top of the wing once again, this time with the shade Candy Corn on a Refer number 13. On a flat brush from Refer, I'm grabbing this base shade up here from the Danessa Myricks palette, and with it, I'm going to brighten up the center of my eyelid here and try to even out what I did a bit. Okay, I was trying to decide on whether to stop being creative or be more creative, and I'm going for the latter because I can't stop at this. This looks like shit, right? So with a very small brush, I'm going to grab this multi-chrome shade down here called Magical, and I'm going to stamp Magical all over the orange shade over my wing, and I'm taking it all the way in. I felt like we needed a little bit of magic to save this because I don't know where I was going, but that looks much better. I'm happier with that. And the same thing over on this side. This is what I have so far, and I feel like we could leave it here, but I want to keep going. I'm going to grab the shade Boo with a big diffusing brush because I don't want it to look super concentrated. I want it to look ethereal. And I'm just going to add it to the inner corner and blend it through my eyelid here, just as a nice glittery sparkle ethereal situation on top of that smoky wing. I like that. Same thing over on this side, of course. Boo is just one of those shades that first of all goes with anything, second of all makes your eyelids look wet, and I like it. And on the innermost corner, the shade Cobwebs, just stamping it right there. If you have a warm brown eyeliner, that's what I chose for my waterline, so I added it in there, and then with a Refer number 3, I just smudged it a little bit right under my eyes. And finally, after quite the struggle, a look that I'm semi-happy with right here. So take a look. I don't know, maybe I should just stick to what I usually do. This changing things up thing might not be for me. I'm trying to think if I learned anything from this experience. Please be kind with your feedback on this eyeshadow look in the comments. Not my proudest moment, but everything looks better with lashes. So let's go ahead and apply some lashes. Back with the lashes. These lashes were sent to me a long time ago by a company called Doe Lashes, and the style is Hey QT. I trimmed them a lot because I didn't want them to go all the way in. And so here is the final eye look. I feel like I had a good idea, but the execution wasn't the best. So I'll tell you what I would do differently in case you want to give this any sort of try. I liked the burgundy wing. I feel like that part of it was good. Could you just get a burgundy eyeliner and do it? Maybe, right? But just stay with me here. I like the burgundy wing. I think I wouldn't do the warm smoky thing. What I would do is get a very light glittery peachy orangey shade and do the all over the lid space with the orangey warm shade. And then just make that meet the burgundy wing, and I feel like that would have been better, right? Maybe I'll try that some other time. The eyes are done, so let's move on to the rest of the complexion. And I'm going to use the Jellyfish palette from Hourglass for the rest of my complexion. I concluded after my review video that I think I definitely would prefer the Jellyfish palette over the Leopard palette, and not because the other one has already existing shades, that doesn't matter. Looking at them side by side, even though I think that I would like the depth of the Leopard palette more, I realized that the Leopard palette has more shimmery shades in there than this one does, like the bronzer of the Jellyfish palette, which to me bronzer is a huge deal. The bronzer of the Jellyfish palette has a more natural finish to it versus the bronzer on the Leopard palette, which has a bit more sparkles thrown in the formula, and I much prefer this finish on my skin. So I'm definitely very happy that I went with this one. I'm going to use my Refer number 24 brush for the bronzer and just lightly bronze up my complexion all around. I wanted this bronzer to be a light wash of warmth on my face, which is why I lightly contoured underneath. For blush, I'm going to use the one right here at the bottom once again. This is a Refer number 5 brush that I'm using. I love it when I all of a sudden feel like I'm looking too dark and then I realize that the settings on my camera just switched on their own. I don't think I want to use the highlighter for this look, so I'm just going to go into my diffusing color here and go over my whole face. The complexion is done and I want to finish up this eye look with something that was sent to me. This is a new collection from Sigma. They just launched these, and if you are interested, I do have a Sigma code, so you can get them with a 10% off discount. These new Sigma lip creams are going to be perfect for the fall season. They are nutrient rich. They have jojoba oil, sunflower seed oil, and vitamin E. And I think I want to grab the lightest shade as a surprise to nobody. I think they're pretty pigmented, so I'm going to attempt it without a lip liner. We'll see. I am making all the wrong decisions today, so I don't know. They definitely are very pigmented. They're glossy, but they're not sticky. This one is in the shade Begonia, which I like, but I'm not obsessed with. So I'm going to try a different shade. I think I need a darker color. This one is called Dapper. Oh yeah, this one is beautiful. Okay, I like Dapper much better. You could go for a lip liner if you wanted to, but it's definitely not needed because these are pretty pigmented, so they cover the entirety of the lip. Let me fix my camera settings real quick and I'll show you guys the final look. Hopefully this is okay and you guys are seeing me a little brighter. Anyways, this right here is the finished fall look. This is the finished Glam. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, further testing a lot of what is new in beauty and kind of playing and getting out of my comfort zone a little bit. If you did, don't forget to please give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I love you all so much. Thank you for watching and I hope to see you back in the next one. Bye.